Hey guys, Ed here, bringing you part 10 of the reincarnation of Link. I do apologize, but it's been hectic these past few months, and still with the same problems. Time and money. I worked on this part and 2 one-shots to keep you guys entertained for the time being. That said, let's get into it! Where we last left off. After Zant made his move, Izuku and Midna, accompanied by All Might, arrived to the Lost Woods, guided by the Golden Wolf, bringing them to the Guardian of the Forest, giving him the directions to find the Master Sword, and return Izuku into a human. While having a little pit stop in order to restore All Might to his prime, and after what seemed to be an eternity, Izuku reached the Master Sword, which dispelled the dark magic, reverting him back to human, as he drew the Master Sword from the pedestal. Midna got it close to Izuku, showing off the crystal expelled from his body. So, this is the embodiment of the dark magic Zant casted on you. It's definitely different from my people's magic, Midna said, inspecting it. But if you aren't careful, it might turn you back into a beast. On one hand, we could just dispose of it, but on the other, we could use it, making you transform whenever you want. Besides, Zant was also so kind enough to give this to us. It would be such a waste not to use it, right? But isn't it dangerous to keep it? All Might said. What if it fell in the wrong hands? Which is why I'll be holding on to it, and whenever Izuku wants it to become a beast, all he has to do is ask. Midna said, as she became a bit shy afterwards. What's wrong? Izuku asked. Is everything okay? Izuku, even though you did agree to do this due to circumstances, I want to still ask, Midna said, trailing off. Would you mind coming with me to find the Mirror of Twilight? It's hidden somewhere, and it's our only way to Zant. Sure, I would gladly help a friend, Izuku said, causing Midna to blush. Excellent! All Might shouted. We should make our way back to UA. Before that, you should explain, Midna said. How did you turn from this to a walking corpse? Very well, All Might started. As I mentioned before, years ago I was injured badly from a battle, and although I should have taken it easy, I just pushed myself more, causing my body not to heal properly, therefore only give me 3 to 4 hours per day where I can be a hero. That would actually explain a lot, Izuku said. I think we should go back to the tree and see if it knows where the mirror is hidden. I think we should, Midna said, returning to Izuku's shadow. Izuku tried to place the Master Sword into his empty scabbard, but the sword didn't fit. Annoyed on that fact, Izuku proceeded to carry it by hand, all the way to the meadow where the giant tree was. Hello again, the tree said. It seems that you found the Master Sword. Yeah, I did, Izuku said, frowning, but I don't have a scabbard for it, and it's quite uncomfortable just to bring it along. No need to worry. The Master Sword scabbard lays over there, underneath the overgrown bushes, the tree said. But I sense that you didn't just come for the scabbard. We're looking for the Mirror of Twilight, Midna said, stepping out of Izuku's shadow. While Izuku went to get the scabbard. Do you know where it is? And where we can find it? Yes, I can tell you the location where it was last used, the tree said. I believe it was last used at Arbiter's Ground, surrounded by the Gerudo Desert. But it is no longer a desert. It is now an island, but the ruins are still intact. There you might find the mirror as well as the sages that used it to banish the evil man of the desert. But not much could be said because Izuku screamed like a girl. All Might Midna went to check on him, only to be shocked at the discovery of a skeleton inside of a rusty armor. The skull sported a gash on one of its eyes, and Izuku recognized it. That's the skeleton spirit I've been telling you about, Izuku said. You know, the golden wolf? Just grab the scabbard already, Minna said impatiently. We don't got all day, you know. But wouldn't this be considered grave robbing? Izuku questioned. Just do it, Minda scowled. Izuku closed his eyes and grabbed the rusty-looking scabbard, and hoping that it will fit, he put the master sword in, only for a bright light to engulf the scabbard, revealing a royal blue scabbard with golden accents. How did that happen? All Might questioned. It was a rusty old thing not too long ago, and when the sword went inside it just became brand new. Simple, the tree stated. The scabbard belongs with the master sword, and just like the sword, it too in the right place can withstand time. I believe we got that part, All Might said. My question is, why did the skeleton have it? For you see, All Might, the tree started, those are the remains of the previous chosen by fate. He fought the evil man of the desert, and they successfully captured him and banished him, but at the cost of his own life. As the words sank in, the tree spoke up once more. He was an orphan, the tree started. His mother fled to the forest as a civil war was going on in Hyrule. That is where my father, the great Deku tree, sensed greatness in this newborn, and took care of him as if he was a Kokiri. But unfortunately, there was nothing he could do for the dying mother. But when the fated time came, the wicked man of the desert made its way in search of the spiritual stones, which were keys to keep the sacred realm protected, where the Triforce lay dormant. Somehow, the previous chosen by fate managed to enter that chamber, as the essence of the Triforce of Courage dwelled within him. He revealed the evil man's plot, and he and his subjects were forced to flee Hyrule, starting the Hyrulean Gerudo War, lasting about 7 years and 7 months. Then why do I have it? Izuku asked. What does it mean? You see, young one, you are his direct descendant. You carry his blood in your veins, as well as his spirit, the tree said. While the Triforce of Courage dwells within you, you possess courage of your ancestor, which is far beyond anyone has ever seen to this day. There is a reason why you weren't affected by the twilight. The courage you possess, mixed with the power of the Triforce, turned you into a proud wolf. As if on cue, the golden wolf appeared and assaulted Izuku, bringing him into the mysterious landscape, as the golden wolf turned into a skeletal figure. It has been a while, Izuku, the spirit said. I see you've retrieved the Master Sword, a fine replacement from what I've given you. And it seems that the Gorons gave you my fire-resistant tunic with the golden gauntlets. but you've broke your shield. I should congratulate you on your victories so far. They are no small feat. Take this shield, and we shall commence your training. Wait, is this gonna take a while? Izuku said. I mean, I don't even have the time. Time is but an illusion, especially in here, the spirit said. It could be hours, days, weeks, or even years. But on the outside, only moments pass, and will only be for mere minutes. So, shall we? After what seems an eternity, Izuku trained alongside Hero Shade as he passed down technique after technique, leaving Izuku exhausted. I've taught you all my techniques. It is time for you to improve yourself. The next time we meet, I shall test you on your performance and efficiency with techniques I've taught you, Hero Shade said as he turned away. I can't hold your hand forever, even if you are my descendant. Wait, why are you like this? Izuku said. I mean, why are you here in this forest? I grew up in this forest. I fought to defend my home, and I died accomplishing my task, Hero Shade said. I believe you meant still lingering instead of moving on. I guess you can reach that conclusion yourself. You have an unfinished task? Izuku questioned. My soul can't be healed, Hero Shade answered. I lived among the Kokiri, but I wasn't one of them. I left the forest. Even then, I couldn't find where I belonged. I lost a lot of people. I couldn't find my friend. I roamed around for years until I decided to go back. And then I was faced with my past once again. Winning, yet failing. What do you mean? Izuku questioned. It doesn't make sense. It is obvious that to you it makes no sense, Hero Shade started. Sometimes we're faced with difficult choices. Other times we got no choice at all. Could you stop talking in riddles? Izuku said. And how do you know about the Master Sword? You already know about the history of the Master Sword, Hero Shade stated. A fair warning. The Master Sword may make you think you're invincible. But remember, a sword has no strength if the hand that holds it has no courage. Remember that. Before Izuku could say anything, Hero Shade spoke. The Master Sword is the blade of evil's bane. No evil may touch it. That goes for the evil within as well, Hero Shade said as the hero started to fade. As for the rest, I'll tell you next time we meet. Izuku tried to call out for Hero Shade, but he woke up back in the meadow, disoriented. Young Midoriya, you're finally awake, All Might said. You had us worried there for a moment. You passed out just like that. Do you need to go to recovery, girl? All Might? Izuku exclaimed. How long was I out? And where did this shield come from? About 10 minutes, give or take. I thought you had a shield to begin with, All Might explained. I think we should be heading back. Farewell, children, the tree said. If you need knowledge, I will help. So if you need guidance, I will guide. That goes for the other heroes as well. I shall guide them to me. Midna was a bit impatient, and as soon as they said their goodbyes, she used her magic to teleport them at UA, startling Nezu and the other faculty members. Oh my! All Might? Izuku? How did you... Nezu started, and realizing that Earlier, horse was teleported in the same manner. Never mind. I see you managed to return to normal. Is that the blade of evil's bane? Recover Girl asked, causing the other members to whisper among themselves. So, Aizawa started, now that you're back to normal, how do we go about finding this Mirror of Twilight? Simple, Midna said, coming out of Izuku's shadow. We got to go to Arbiter's Ground. And where is this place? Aizawa said, sipping his coffee. It's in the desert, but now it's no longer a desert. It's an island, and the ruins are still intact, Izuku said. The question is, where's the island? I believe they're talking about Nabu Island, Nezu started. There are some ruins from a bygone era there. Why don't we make a little expedition team and see what we can find? I shall accompany young Midoriya, All Might said. What do you say for a team of 5 people? I would definitely try to keep at least a team of 4, just to be on the safe side, Nezu said. Aizawa, why don't you call young Togato? You will accompany All Might and Mr. Midoriya. Fine, Aizawa sighed. Hopefully we get to deal with this shit. Alright then, you'll be leaving in the morning, as we try to get a helicopter, Nezu said. Why don't you rest up? All Might, please follow me. As the pro heroes discussed further, Izuku was dismissed and went to find Katsumi, arriving only to see her in bed sick. Hey Kachan, how you doing? Izuku asked sheepishly. Izuku! Katsumi squeaked and hugged him. You're back to normal. Yeah, I'm back, Izuku said, unconsciously caressing her face, while in deep thought. How have you been? Aina's on Momo's recovery? No, she's still out of it, Katsumi said. But I'm glad that you're back to normal. Now we can fight back. Kachan, I'll be looking for the Mirror of Twilight, Izuku said. I believe if we get to this Mirror of Twilight, we can stop this madness. So All Might, Eraserhead, and a third year, and myself are going to investigate clues on Nabu Island, while everyone else holds the fort. I'm coming too, Katsumi protested. No, you aren't, Izuku told her, trying to make her feel at ease. You're sick, and you need rest. You have a terrible fever. Fine, I get it, Katsumi huffed. You try not to get yourself killed. Otherwise, my parents will blame me. Don't worry, Izuku said, reassuring her, as he realized the true meaning of what she just said. Nobody's gonna blame you, so you shouldn't either. Tomorrow I'll be heading out to Nabu Island. So hold the fort for when I get back. So in the meantime, sleep and recover. Izuku left Katsumi's side as she found the room where Momo was in, only to see her in a vegetative state, hooked up to machines. Midna exited Izuku's shadow, trying to wake her up. As they were just futile attempts, Izuku spoke to Momo, keeping her in the loop on what's happening. Although pointless, it gave him hope. As we skip to the next day, a helicopter was waiting as Izuku, Aizawa, All Might, and Mirio departed. As they left, everyone returned to their day-to-day. As time passed, everyone at UA could feel a sudden pressure as someone or something was hitting the walls, keeping UA safe from the outside. On Nezu's orders, the faculty grabbed civilians and headed towards the escape routes, as some pro-heroes stayed and fought back, giving them time for the rest to evacuate. Izuku, Mirio, and All Might, and Aizawa managed to reach Nabu Island, only to find an oddly quiet. And then, a scream caught their attention coming from a destroyed town. They headed there, to help as they found two small girls running away from one of the goblins Izuku recognized. As the goblins attacked the two girls were frightened for their life and closed their eyes, expecting something to happen. But nothing did. One of the girls opened their eyes to see what happened, only to see a knight with a sword and shield, leaving her in awe. "Sis, are we dead yet?" the other girl questioned, with her eyes still closed. "Mahoru, you still there? Can I open my eyes?" "Yeah, open your eyes, Katsuma," Mahoru said, still watching Izuku. "Heroes!" Katsuma shouted happily. "They can help us?" "No need to fear, because we are here," All Might said. "Now, why don't we take care of these gremlins?" As if on cue, one of them sounded a horn, and they surrounded the heroes. As the king of the goblins showed up, with his massive axe glaring at Izuku. "Puny human, we meet again," the Goblin King growled, still feeling the anger of his previous defeat. "You come in my territory, you lose." All Might, Aizawa, Mirio-senpai, take the girls and take care of the rest, Izuku said while drawing the Master Sword. "He's mine." Izuku drew the Master Sword at its full glory, with the Highland shield prepared to face the Goblin King on a 1v1. He performed a shield bash, followed by a helm splitter while jumping over him, and then kicked him from behind, sending him to the ground, making a fool out of him, causing him to anger. The girls looked at Izuku in shock and admiration, while the pros were amazed on the agility Izuku showed. The Goblin King attacked Izuku with his axe, but Izuku used his sword to cut the handle, sending the blade over the group, missing All Might, but cutting a few strands of hair in the process, scaring All Might half to death, because he almost seen his life flashing by. "I guess my hair's shorter," All Might said as his legs were shaking. The group just had a deadpan look for the poor pun. Izuku and the Goblin King stared at each other until the Goblin called for his mount. "Puny human, next time you won't be lucky," the Goblin King said as he left, followed by the remaining goblins leaving the area. Izuku sheathed his Master Sword in relief as the girls leaped towards Izuku as if he was their lifeline. "That was so cool," Mahoru said, excited. "You were all swoosh, pow, hya." "Thank you for saving us," Katsuma said, still holding on to him. "No problem, girls," Izuku said, smiling, while blushing a bit. "I'm actually a boy," Katsuma said, embarrassed. "My clothes were ripped badly and we were hiding in the clothes store and Mahoru gave me these." Izuku patted them on the head, reassuring them that everything would be okay. "Are there any survivors?" All Might questioned. "Yes, they're staying in that building. We were trying to find some of the people hunting for food," Mahoru said, about to cry. "But they wouldn't wake up, not even with Katsuma's quirk." "Why would the two of you going around with monsters on the loose?" Aizawa questioned. "It's irrational and dangerous." "Because of our quirks. We were in the group with our father too," Mahoru said. "I can make illusions that scare them off, while Katsuma can accelerate the healing of the injured. Our dad made sure that we were safe, then he told us to run." "How many survivors are there?" Aizawa questioned. "How many children?" "Just us," Mahoru said sadly. "Roughly around 30 people, including us." "Then let's meet up with everyone else, and then we can call you away to inform Principal Nezu of the situation," All Might said. After arriving in the makeshift underground bunker, everyone there praised the Lord for help has arrived. As Mirio helped out the civilians, Maharu and Katsuma remained by Izuku's side, as the mayor greeted the heroes. "Thank you for coming here, All Might," Eraserhead. "We tried for days to send an SOS to the mainland, but those monsters made it impossible to do so," the mayor explained. "How are the things on the mainland? Better, I assume?" "Not really," Aizawa said, shaking his head. "We were here by chance. We were searching for an ancient artifact." "Oh Lord, oh Lord," the mayor lamented in horror. "Please don't tell me. All this is because of the cursed ruins?" "What do you mean?" All Might questioned. "Each night we can hear bloody screams of pain and agony," the mayor said, filled with fear. "And according to some research, the ruins are haunted, and the people that entered died by unknown causes within 7 days. And some of the people saw lanterns flying around after the person was killed, but disappeared during the day." "How recent is this research?" Aizawa questioned. "The oldest that we have is about 50 years ago, while the recent one was 10 years ago," the mayor explained. "But about 10 kids around 12 years old entered the ruins, and they said they found massive skeletons and locked doors. And in every room, there was a symbol portraying the same symbol on that kid's shield." "And when was that?" All Might questioned. 7 years ago, and one of them was my grandson," the mayor said. "I found him one morning with an agonizing look on his face, as if someone or something ripped his soul out in the worst violent way possible. But there was no blood." Midna popped out of Izuku's shadow, scaring the old mayor. "I can sense dark energy in the ruins, and whatever it is, it's guarding the Mirror of Twilight. So let's get a move on." "Demon!" the mayor shouted as he passed out, causing Midna to tilt her head in confusion. "I'm not a demon. I'm a cute little imp," Midna said, very proud of herself. "It's not like I cause mass destruction or anything like that." "What do you mean, Midna?" Izuku questioned while ignoring her former statement. "What kind of dark energy?" "It's different than the Twilight's shadow magic," Midna noted. "It seems this form of energy is more chaotic in nature. Other than that, I'm not sure." "Then why don't we go in?" Mirio questioned, returning back to the group. "And we should call the mainland to rescue these survivors and bring them to UA, of which I will personally take care of, and join you the moment I'm done with the task." Before anyone could interject, Aizawa took the lead. "Alright, Mirio has his job. While he's doing that, we'll go investigate the ruins," Aizawa said, glaring. "Am I clear?" With no further objections, the trio and Midna made their way to the ruins, arriving near sunset, as they saw floating lanterns near the entrance. "Hold up," Midna said, halting the trio. "Izuku, I think it's best if you turned into a wolf. Then you'll see that those aren't some normal lanterns." Izuku shrugged and put on the dark crystal-turned pendant, transforming into a wolf. And the moment he saw the lanterns with his senses, he jumped onto All Might's arms, scared while pointing at the lanterns with his paw while letting out whimpers. Well, he managed to say ghost. "Yes, Izuku, those are ghosts," Midna said, amused, as she started teasing. "Is a brave, strong wolf afraid of some little ghosts?" "Ghosts? Huh," Aizawa mused. "That would explain why people died with no wounds." "You can't be serious. Ghosts don't exist," All Might said while his legs were shaking, while he tried to turn tail and run, carrying Izuku, only for Midna to block the path and look menacing. "Where do you think you're going with my partner?" Midna said while crossing her arms. I can hear young Togeda needing us," All Might said, making an excuse. "I don't care about you, musclehead, but Izuku, I'm surprised you're scared of ghosts," Midna said. "You went through more life and death situations in a few months than any other person calling themselves heroes. I'm surprised." "How do we sneak in?" Aizawa questioned. "Why sneak in when we could just charge in?" Midna questioned. "Besides, those are ghosts. It's not like we can sneak past them to begin with. Might as well just charge in." "Fair enough," Aizawa said. "Got any plans?" After about 10 minutes of planning and 20 minutes to Google ghosts' weaknesses, they found out that animals have better chance of communicating with ghosts, which includes harming them, alongside other stuff, to the Izuku's horror and dismay. "Why do I have to do it?" Izuku whined. "Can't we call the Ghostbusters? As in people that hunt ghosts for a living?" "Ghostbusters? Hey Aizawa, you have actual people hunting ghosts?" Midna questioned. "Why don't we call them?" "Because it's just a movie from the last century," Aizawa explained. "People pretending to hunt ghosts that aren't real." "Oh," Midna said, a bit disappointed. "Well, back to plan A. Let's go, Wolfie, and bust some ghosts." Izuku steeled himself and charged at the ghost, and he managed to dispose of the ghosts. As the heroes entered, Izuku had to switch back and forth between human and wolf while getting rid of ghosts, undead creatures, and massive rats, until they stumbled upon a sword tied to the ground sealed by talismans and ropes, normally used to contain demonic entities. "Whoa, why don't you look at that?" All Might explained. "That sword's massive. I wonder who even held a thing like that." According to some of these murals on the walls, this was a prison and execution ground, Aizawa said, which would explain most of the remains here. But better question is, why? "Mr. Aizawa, I don't want to be rude," Izuku said, clearly on edge. "I'm sure we can let Scooby and the Mystery Gang find out why. We're just here to find the Twilight Mirror, enter the Twilight Realm, help with Midna's problems, and come back hoping for the best." They heard noises, making them go on edge. "Please, no more rats," Izuku lamented. "Don't you mean no more zombies?" Aizawa questioned. "Let's just hope it isn't more ghosts," All Might added. "You guys are a bunch of wimps underneath it all," Midna stated. "The moment it gets here, that's when you'll deal with it." They waited and waited, but nobody entered the door. Before they could wonder, a voice caught him off guard, causing All Might and Izuku to scream like girls in a haunted house. "Seriously?" Midna questioned while facepalming. "Can't you see it's just that moron we left with the people?" "Wow, All Might, I didn't know you had it in you," Miru said, curious. "My bad, should I have used the door instead of popping out of the ground?" "Mirio, seriously?" Izuku questioned, nearly about to piss himself. "There's a time and place. Look around you. This is not the time nor the place. I repeat, not the place." Izuku, you damaged the seal," Midna stated. That caught everyone's attention. What are you talking about, Midna? Izuku said as fear nearly made him revert back to his childhood school days. Like I said, you damaged the seal. Midna said, pointing at Izuku's feet. You snapped one of the ropes by jumping on it. Before anyone could say anything else, they heard another rope snap, followed by more snapping ropes, and they could feel the pressure change as evil laughter could be heard, followed by chilling voice. I'm free! My king! I shall serve you yet again, the creature said by raising the massive sword. And we shall bring Hyrule to its knees and plunge it into darkness. Why not return to the great beyond or wherever spirits like creatures like you belong? Mira questioned. Because there's no Hyrule. You want us to leave? The creature questioned. How can we leave if our hate binds us here? We shall linger until we bring down Hyrule. And if Hyrule is no more, we shall destroy everything in our path. Then I promise you that you will fail, Izuku said, grabbing the Highland shield and drawing the Master Sword, as its blade glowed slightly, causing the creature to back off a bit. Izuku followed instincts he didn't know he had, and with a swing of the Master Sword, cut through the creature as if it hauled in agony, as it took a ghostly appearance. This isn't over. My king will yet have his revenge upon Hyrule, the now ghostly creature said as he spun around in the room and entering the ground where the sword was sealed. This hate that comes from the ancient past will never disappear. Every grain of this desert sand and the bones of those who slaughtered will gather and destroy everything, starting by you. Enormous amounts of sand started to flood the room, and a giant bone construct manifested, destroying the floor in the process. As he saw a closed gate behind the giant, All Might did everything he could, but no matter what he did, the bones mended back together. That's when Izuku had an idea. All Might, throw me over its head, Izuku shouted. Are you crazy? All Might questioned, alongside Aizawa and Mirio at the same time. Then I really hope you know what you're doing, Midna said, using her hair to make a giant hand and throwing Izuku towards the giant. Izuku used the momentum to his advantage as he reached its height, and then he sliced downwards, cutting it in half. The giant bone structure exploded into sand and slowly retreated, disappearing completely as the gate opened. Wow, that was amazing, not gonna lie, Ryo said, checking Izuku's sword. Agreed, All Might said, but then again, it is the blade of evil's bane. Midna watched as the group congratulated Izuku, but Midna could sense something in Izuku. She couldn't tell what exactly, but it unnerved her. Come on, we're almost there, I can feel it. Follow me, Midna said, flying past the group. As the group followed the excited Midna, they made their way to the top of the ruins as they can see a full moon in view, illuminating the clearing of what seemed to be a coliseum surrounded by 6 prominent pillars, which odd symbols on top, but one of them was broken. And the center of the clearing, a massive black stone was held in chains, and on the opposite side, a strange altar stood. Midna was very excited to return to the Twilight Realm and take revenge on Zant, only for her hopes to be squashed seeing the mirror completely ruined. As she cursed Zan's name, loud and hard enough to make a sailor blush. And then she cried, realizing that she can't save her people. Realizing that she made that one mistake which made this whole mess, she cried even more because it was over, and it was all her fault. "It is not over yet," a mysterious voice called out, causing everyone to look in the direction of the voice, now seeing 5 beings on top of the 5 of the 6 pillars. "It is not over yet," a mysterious voice called out, causing everyone to look in the direction of the voice, now seeing 5 beings on top of the 5 of the 6 pillars. "A dark entity lurks in the twilight. It houses an evil power. You who have guided by fate, you who possess the crest of the goddess, hear us," another being said. "At the command of the goddess, we sages have guarded the mirror of twilight since ancient times," the third said. "You seek it, but the mirror of twilight has been fragmented by mighty and evil magic," the fourth said. "That evil magic is chaotic in nature, that only he possesses," the fifth said. "His name is Ganondorf," the first one said, causing the others to have more questions than answers. To be continued. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more. Turn on the bell notification to be updated so you never miss a video. That said, peace out.